This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
Hi, I'm Raj Punjabi from HuffPost.
And I'm Noah Michelson, also from HuffPost.
And we're the hosts of Am I Doing It Wrong? A new podcast that explores the all-too-human anxieties we have about trying to get our lives right.
Each week on the podcast, Raj and I pick a new topic that we want to understand better and bring a guest expert on to talk us through how to get it right.
And we're talking like legit, credible experts. Doctors, PhDs, all-around superheroes.
From HuffPost and Acast Studios, check out Am I Doing It Wrong? Wherever you get your podcasts.
Yo, UK! At BetMGM, we give our players sports betting entertainment like nobody's business. Football, horse racing, darts, boxing, tennis, golf, NFL, NBA. You name it, we got it. Offers? You know it. Bet £10 and get £40 in free bets. BetMGM, it's showtime.
New customers only. Exclusions apply. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
Good evening and welcome to the next edition of The Away End. I'm Craig Courtney and I am joined by Johnny Brayson from the Chickens on the Loose podcast for Bradford City. This podcast is brought to you in association with AMG Logistics, chief sponsor of Birmingham City Football Club, and also ourselves on Tilton Talk. So after a weekend of league games for both clubs, we go into the final game 90 minutes away from a potential Wembley final. So the hype is definitely building for both clubs. Birmingham last appeared at this stage in 1995 when they actually won the semi-final, which was then over two legs against Leyton Orient. First game winning 1-0 at St Andrews and second game winning 3-2 at Brisbane Road. We later went on to win that competition 1-0 with the only time you will ever see a golden goal winning a competition. And that was with a Paul Tate header from a fantastic Ricky Otto cross. And what can we say? After that, we'll never forget the T-shirt incident. Bradford, though, go into the game coming off the back of a, probably fair to say, bore draw at the weekend against Newport. However, still sitting really well and doing well in League Two in third position after quite a consistent season. So, firstly, thank you, Johnny, for joining us to go through the details ahead of our Virtue Cup semi-final game at Knighthead Park on Tuesday evening. So, thanks a lot for joining us. I've got to ask, what's with the name? It's really cool, but tell us a bit about the history of it.
So I've been going for about 2 years. The podcast used to be called Up the Chickens, but we had a Facebook page with exactly the same name. And we just decided we didn't want to be together, so we separated it. And my friend Callie came up with the name Chickens on the Loose, and it's stuck ever since.
And is there a history behind it, or is it just literally a name that you kind of plucked out of, excuse the pun, thin air?
Yeah, just my friend Callie. She just plucked out of thin air, really, and it's stuck, and it makes people smile and laugh when they think of it.
It does, and I've got to say, when I saw the details, I thought it was absolutely superb. So, firstly, tell us a bit about Bradford, and also, actually, I should start off. Tell us a bit about your podcast. You mentioned that you've been going a couple of years, but what you get up to, and then tell us a bit about Bradford as a club and what we can expect on Tuesday evening, because it's been a while since we've actually played each other.
So with the podcast, I've been going about 2 years. Started off on the TalkSport network and now moved over to the Sports Social network. We go live every match day before the game, So if we play Tuesday, we go live on a Monday. And if it's a Saturday, it's a Friday. And we do it live on Twitter at 6 p.m. And we just talk about the games, really. I don't really do one for the Mickey Mouse trophy, the EFL trophy. I just concentrate on the big games. But yeah, we just get people on and talk about the games there. So if you do like it, follow us on social media, bit of a free plug, chickens out loose on there and stuff. You'll find us. But then with Bradford City, we are doing well. Like you're saying there, you said it were boring 0-0. The referee spoke the game the other day against Newport. On social media, it looks like he was not the last man, so he should not be sent off. So hopefully the club do appeal that decision, but the referee did spoil the game. He wrecked it completely. And with Bradford City, we have sold, I think, 2,000 odd tickets.
Yep.
So we are coming in numbers. And like Bradford City fans do, we always stick behind the players and the team. So we will make a racket, and hopefully David will beat Goliath tomorrow, and we will beat you.
Tell us about Bradford then as a team. What can we expect from all areas? How do you set up? Who would you class as your key players? And you mentioned the sending off at the weekend and also the officiating. I've got to say, Division 1 is not much better from an official's point of view. We saw some absolute horrendous officiating, not just for referee, but the two linesmen as well at the weekend at St Andrews. So feel your pain. But the sending off, I mean, does that have an impact on the team going in that you'll be setting up with? And like I say, tell us a bit about the key players, structure, and what to expect from the Bradford side that seems to be flying.
So with the team, he normally plays, obviously, Walker in net, 3-4-3. Obviously, Shepherd, Huntington, Baldwin. We had against Newport, Holiday, Sav, Smallwood, and I can't pronounce his name. I'm rubbish at pronouncing names. A guy from Crystal Palace, Adam Moller, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And then Poynton, Mellon, and Lee. I think the team there would be tweaked a little bit. And I think Mellon would get dropped for Cav. Poynton and Lee, I think, will stick there. And I think Wright would take Ard's place with Smallwood, Sav, and Halliday. I think Shepherd can play because it's not classed as an EFL game. Huntington and Baldwin. So I think he'd probably stick with the team, or there might be changes. It's hard to say with Alexander, but I think he's going to pick a strong team, and hopefully, like I say, David will beat Goliath.
And you mentioned there about your 3-4-3 kind of type of structure that you see. So where, I suppose, do we expect to see the most threat coming from? So is it across your midfield and then breaking out with, do you have like two wingers almost in effect coming forwards and playing off a number 10, or do you have a natural two that switch between each other when they're up front?
So with Andy Cook being injured, who's our top goal scorer, who did ACL against Barrow, goals are coming from more places now. Mm-hmm. So I'm expecting the wingers to come in, try to cross the ball in and get more goals in that way. Basically, we're expecting goals from every department. So it's going to be very hard where it's going to come from. But I'll probably say the left wing back and right wing back will probably try to torture you down the wings and try to get some goals that way. And hopefully the midfield will stay strong.
And where does, in terms of your kind of structure and the way things go at the moment, you mentioned about the you mentioned about the different things where the build-up is there and how it works. But is that where you tend to see the attacking prowess down the wings and then whipping balls in?
Yeah, I think we're going to do well down the wings. And I think hopefully we'll just try to dominate you that way. And hopefully just try to beat you in a way. Because I know you've got like Alfie May, £10 million player. One player does not make a team. So hopefully we will play pretty well and try to just outplay you, really. It's like an FA Cup final in it kind of thing. You never know who's going to win.
It's a one-off, isn't it? It's in terms of the game and the way it all goes about. Tomorrow is a final. It's interesting that they do play it over one leg. I was, when we first came into this, expecting two legs in the final like it used to be. So it does make it more of an event. And yeah, you mentioned there Alfie May. I think it literally depends on what team is set up from Birmingham tomorrow. You've got a lot of people who will say, right, will Davis set up, in theory, a second string, or will he actually go strong? When I look at all the other games, we've had a mixture of both. So I don't think you'll see the full team that started on Saturday. But what I do anticipate, maybe a few changes in and around the striking areas. You might see Djukovic coming in. If you do, then that's naturally going to be the player to flick on. You might see Lyndon Dykes then playing alongside him. Alfie may get a game and start. We just don't know. And Stansfield, Stansfield's the man that's been sitting on the bench for all the other games, and has really, he's come off the bench in the quarterfinal. Obviously scored us the winner, and perhaps we'll see that again. And I think it's just down to how Davies sets it up. But the one thing I can say is you're going to get a raucous atmosphere. We've got a sold out St Andrews at Knighthead Park tomorrow. For those that are attending, there is a request from the board of directors at the club to say, get yourselves in your seats from about 7:35. I know it's an 8 o'clock kickoff, so get yourselves in your seats from 7:35 because there's a little bit of a show going on. We don't know what, and we don't know what it'll be, but it'll be there. And then, you can expect a very loud, passionate crowd, as we seem to be, as always, backing the boys, similar to yourselves. In terms of the way other areas go and the way that the actual game takes place, I think you'll see a few things that will be interesting from an attacking point of view. I love it. We've got our own light show at the moment. But, it'd be just interesting to see, like I say, how we structure it, how we come forward. But there's going to be a no-holds-barred game. We're not going to see people holding back. At the end of the day, we're 90 minutes and penalties away from a final. And I know it's not a major final. I know some people say it is the Mickey Mouse Cup. It's not worth what it's written on. But at the end of the day, it's an event for the fans. Whether that be 20, 30, 40,000 travelling down from any of the clubs, that's the way it can be. So want to take it seriously. And as a Birmingham fan, I'm not going to deny I would love a Wembley trip and also to take the league. So that's our aspiration as fans. Let's see how the players turn out. So we've got a few overlaps, I think it's fair to say, between our clubs. Some players, obviously you've got one on loan at the moment in our very own Brandon Keeler. First of all, how have you found him since he's been on loan with yourselves? And have you seen much? I've got to say for myself, he's played a couple of games in what was the League Cup. Saw some fantastic touches, and last season he got a little bit of game time as well. So I think he is still learning his trade. But how have you found him since he's been on loan?
I don't think he's really. I think he must have. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think he's played a couple of games, but he hasn't really come on the pitch. I think he's only come on for a little bit, but I've not seen much of him. Mm-hmm. But when he's come on, it looks like he's a promising player. And it looks like he's got like a raw talent, and he can probably do well when he gets more experience.
Yeah, and he is the type of player, I think, that thrives on confidence. I mean, take it back to that first goal that he scored for the club in the League Cup this season, which was a screamer against Charlton into the top corner. Absolute beauty. Thought he would kick on from there. Got a few extra little bits of game time, little niggly injury, but then out on loan. So hopefully you'll get to see a little bit more about him. But as a challenge, can you name 3 other players that have represented both Birmingham and Bradford over the years?
Bloody hell. Pass. No idea.
I mean, you'll kick yourself with one of them because I believe he's still part of your club. Goalkeeper.
Doyley? Walker?
Doyley.
Well, yeah.
Birmingham for quite a while. And obviously had his, not as much game time, I don't think, at Birmingham as what he could have done, but to a complete gentle giant. Give you a hint to see that you're struggling. So I'll give you a hint on another one. Striker.
Yo, UK! At BetMGM, we give our players sports betting entertainment like nobody's business. Football, horse racing, darts, boxing, tennis, golf, NFL, NBA. You name it, we got it. Offers? You know it. Bet 10 pounds and get 40 pounds in free bets. BetMGM, it's showtime.
New customers only. Exclusions apply. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
Hey, Prime members. Are you tired of ads interfering with your favorite podcasts? Good news. With Amazon Music, you have access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts included with your Prime membership. To start listening, download the Amazon Music app for free or go to amazon.com/ad-free podcasts. That's amazon.com/ad-free podcasts to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
I think.
Pacey, didn't hold back, always wore his heart on his sleeve, and was he was great at Birmingham, and I don't think he did too badly when he came to yourselves either.
I'm dying to say Nike Wells, but it ain't, is it? It won't be Nike Wells. I think.
It's CD.
Nah, pass.
We're big Clayton Donaldson.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was a bit rubbish for us when he came. I think he's National League. He's manager somewhere now.
He is doing some stuff in the lower leagues. Yeah, he was. He was great when he was at Birmingham, and he always put himself about. Scored some important goals for us as a club, and helped to take us forwards. So there's another one then, and you may struggle with this one as well. But over the years, we've had quite a few goal scorers, obviously, that have come in the games between ourselves. However, 5 players have scored multiple goals in the games that have taken place between the clubs. I can tell you that of them, 4 of them were all centre forwards. One of them was an attacking midfielder. For yourselves, unfortunately, there isn't one Bradford player that has come out. But I'm wondering whether you can remember the players that have scored against you. So they are over the years that these have been scored, and range from 3 goals in the games between them. So there's 3 players that have scored 3 goals in those games, and 2 that have got 1 each. You can name 2 of them.
No idea. Absolutely no idea.
This is going to be a challenge.
Yeah. No, I can't think. No idea.
Well, rather than keeping you going, I'll put you out your misery. So the top 5 goal scorers in the games between Birmingham and Bradford have been Stern John. He only scored the 1 goal.
Remember him.
Jeff as well. A legend from up north. But Jeff scored 1 goal. Then we have a player that, for me, if he'd have played more games and had less of an injury, he'd have been a phenomenal ongoing goal scorer at the club. Still holds to this day one of the best goal scoring to appearance ratios for Birmingham, and that's Paul Furlong. He scored 3 goals in the games between yourselves and ourselves. Your attacking midfielder is currently working for the club. He acts as a person that introduces players and takes them around, hosts them on the day, and that's our very own Paul Devlin. Probably by heart and definitely by nature. He was the hard man on the wing that nobody wanted to touch. And then finally, our Portuguese maestro in Marcelo. He also scored 3 goals in the games between ourselves over the years. So it's pleasant reading from a Birmingham perspective. final area before we go on to a little bit of a prediction for the game on Tuesday night. So we have, over the years, played 23 games against each other. Of those 23, how many games have Bradford won? And I'll give you the hints. 8 over them have been drawn. So there's been 8 draws, but how many have Bradford won?
I'm just going to throw out there and think about 10 games.
It was closer the other way around. So it's 12 wins for Birmingham. It's 8 draws. And over the years, there's actually only been 3 wins for Bradford. So again, it comes down to a little bit of, I suppose, you look at it on the positive side from a Birmingham front. But again, I'll go back to the fact it's 90 minutes and penalties if needed. So you never, ever predict it. What do you reckon the last 5 games have turned out to be?
Hi, I'm Raj Punjabi from HuffPost.
And I'm Noah Michelson, also from HuffPost.
And we're the hosts of Am I Doing It Wrong? A new podcast that explores the all too human anxieties we have about trying to get our lives right.
Each week on the podcast, Raj and I pick a new topic that we want to understand better and bring a guest expert on to talk us through how to get it right.
And we're talking like legit, credible experts. Doctors, PhDs, all-around superheroes.
From HuffPost and Acast Studios, check out Am I Doing It Wrong? Wherever you get your podcasts.
Probably a couple of draws in there and probably a couple of losses.
So in the last 5, it's actually 3 wins for Birmingham, a draw and a loss. So in the past 5 games, you have actually you've got one of those results. Finally, before the prediction time, 2 players that tomorrow night we should watch out for. Who would they be and why?
I would say Bobby Poynton, if he does play. He's like a diamond in the rough. He came from the youth academy. And like Bradford fans always say, he's one of our own. He's there. He's got loads of promise. And he probably, if he plays really well tomorrow, he could be the winning piece in that jigsaw tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
It could, yeah. And I would probably say Sam Walker as well. He's a very good goalkeeper. He's better than Harry Lewis, who's at Carlisle, who's in a relegation fight now. But Sam Walker, on his day, he could be a really good goalkeeper. He does some fantastic saves. So I think it's going to be a tight game if he picks the right players tomorrow.
Yep. Do you think he'll go full strength, your manager?
Yeah. It's an important game, and 1 game away from Wembley. Hopefully you guys do go a bit weak, because I know he rested a few players on Saturday, because when we're coming out, we saw Tariq Wright, and I think somebody asked him, why aren't you playing today? He's like, he's saving me for saving me for Tuesday. So he's going to be playing, and I think Cav's going to be playing. Same with Cav. Cav's like a little terrier. He can run around like an headless chicken. Or should we say chickens on the loose? And then he can just do well. And hopefully, if his head's right, he can score some goals tomorrow. And hopefully defeat you.
So, I think I already know the answer to this question before I even ask it. But, I mean, firstly, are you making the journey down to Birmingham? Are you coming to the game?
I am trying to. I've got my ticket. I've paid for my parking. I just need to get out of work early. And if not, I'm leaving Keighley at 4 o'clock to get to for Birmingham for 8 o'clock.
Yeah, you should do it as long as the M6
do it, but it's going to be close.
So, but excellent. So glad that you're coming down. You're going to experience, first of all, multiple things at the club and such a difference. I don't know whether you've ever been to St Andrews at Knighthead Park before, but what a difference from really the last time that we played each other. You know, totally different infrastructure, totally different board of directors, totally different look and feel to the club. And if rumours be true, then tomorrow evening we may even see the two Toms in attendance. So Tommy Wagner being our owner, he tries to get there as much as he possibly can. But rumours are that Tom Brady may also be making the journey across, which would be immense, shall we say. And put it this way, if he is, you know that the security around St Andrews will be absolutely tight. So tell us then, what does your heart say and what does your head say the result will be?
My head thinks we're going to get absolutely battered. I think we're going to lose about 3-0. That's what my head's thinking. But my heart thinks it's going to be a proper David versus Goliath, like I said previously. And I think we're going to nick it, possibly 1-0 or 2-0. I don't have a clue who the scorers are going to be, but Wembley is like Bradford's second dome. Here we go again. Anyone's watching on YouTube, we're getting invaded by my son. Yeah, so I think Bradford are going to win tomorrow, hopefully.
And, okay, I've got to ask, your son's got to be a Bradford fan. He's there. What does he think he'll score or be?
Leo, what's score going to be tomorrow? What's score going to be tomorrow? Hold on, you're pulling on my lead. Bradford going to win tomorrow? Are they going to win what score? What? They're going to win 1-0? Yeah, okay.
Well, he's going for a 1-0. I like it. So,
for a 1-0.
I mean, what am I going to say? I've got to say that from a Birmingham perspective, we've got the home draw. We've got the home draw that we wanted. I think a full house at St Andrews and Hyde Park, you're talking, 28,000 plus, going to be making a lot of noise. And if we turn out the way that we have been in the league, and if we were to turn out against the way that we did against Newcastle, then it's going to be tough for Bradford. One of my head is saying it'll be hard fought. I think it'll be 2-0 to Birmingham. But my heart, I mean, I'll be honest, I just think we will just have that little bit extra and that little bit too much for you tomorrow. It's gonna be a good game. But actually, if I go with my heart, it's going to be a 3-0. So it's going to be a good night overall. But hopefully, at the end of it, there's a team that's going to Wembley. So I'll just say the, best team on the night takes the result. But I'm looking forward to it. The place is going to be absolutely bouncing. What I will say is the information that we're getting. I think you can expect some fireworks, not just on the pitch, but coming off the stadium, maybe on the evening as well to build it all up. There's a bit of entertainment beforehand. So for those that are going, Bradford and Birmingham fans, get there nice and early. Be in your seat for around 25 to 8, and you'll get a chance to see the show before kick-off. And then hopefully we get an equally entertaining show on the pitch after kick-off as well. So, Johnny, thank you very much indeed for joining us and going through what to expect in the Virtue Cup semi-final at Hyde Park on Tuesday evening. I'm signing off by saying thank you very much. May the best team win and keep right on.
Yo, UK! At BetMGM, we give our players sports betting entertainment like nobody's business. Football, horse racing, darts, boxing, tennis, golf, NFL, NBA. You name it, we got it. Offers? You know it. Bet £10 and get £40 in free bets. BetMGM, it's showtime.
New customers only. Exclusions apply. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
Hi, I'm Raj Punjabi from HuffPost.
And I'm Noah Michelson, also from HuffPost.
And we're the hosts of Am I Doing It Wrong? a new podcast that explores the all-too-human anxieties we have about trying to get our lives right.
Each week on the podcast, Raj and I pick a new topic that we want to understand better and bring a guest expert on to talk us through how to get it right.
And we're talking like legit, credible experts. Doctors, PhDs, all-around superheroes.
From HuffPost and Acast Studios, check out Am I Doing It Wrong? Wherever you get your podcasts.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.